Thanks for tuning in, folks. Welcome to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Incorporated. This video is two different arm locks from side control attacking the far arm. I was in Vegas for the last couple of weeks. I taught some private lessons. I taught a few group classes, and this one lesson plan was really well received. I thought to share it with you guys. It's attacking the far arm when they hug the head. Two different ways of doing that. One is the dismounted telephone arm lock face down, and the other arm lock will be the traditionally known as the spinning arm lock, but it's when they hug your head. Now you trap that arm and attack it. It's different variations to this arm lock. Just going to share what I passed along in Vegas, and everyone really liked that lesson plan. I thought to share with you guys. I hope you like. So these arm locks is when they actually hug your head. They're trying to hide that arm. And one thing I like to do is I like to push the head away from me. It prevents them, or I should say, it makes it more difficult for them to replace me to guard. That's the first thing I do. And then the second thing I do with this arm lock is I grab my collar. So the first one is I pressure their head away from me. It puts them a bit in a difficult position to replace me to guard. And once they grab my head, then I grab the collar. So I push the head away right there, and then I anchor behind the shoulder, then I grab my collar. From here now, I bring the elbow up towards their head. I take a step over their chest and then over their shoulder, and then I pinch my knees together. Then I adjust my head to their wrist, and then I apply pressure to the elbow. A few things I want to emphasize on this move is the tightness of that head push with your bicep, and the grabbing of your collar, pinching his arm, and then the pinching of the knees together with the head and his own shoulder together makes everything tight. It looks like he can escape or you can reverse, but when you have everything tight and on lockdown, you're pretty much solid. So I can't emphasize the pushing of the head with your bicep, anchoring behind the shoulder, then grabbing your own collar. You pinched his arm trap now. From here, you move his elbow forward, upwards, moving your body forwards to take a step over the chest. Then you take a step over his arm that fits right over his shoulder. Then you pinch your knees together. Then you want to establish your head closest to his wrist. I base that with my hand. I adjust my head, apply pressure to the elbow, and get the tap. The second arm lock I want to share with you guys is now you have to change your arm positions to checking the hip to underscooting the arm. So your right hand remains at his hip for a little bit to prevent him from following you. And then you have to underscoop the arm with your left and transition to north-south. So those are your three big moves at the beginning for your adjustments, is changing your arm positions from number 2 to number 3. You check the hip, you underscoop the arm as you transition to north-south. Then you base out with one foot to push him on his side. So those are our key moves. The first half is very important. If you don't get the first half of the move, you will not get the second half. So you have to put your arms in the proper position to number 3. So you make the adjustments. You transition to north-south. You underscoop that arm. And then one shin is at his rib cage and the other foot is by his neck as you squeeze your knees together for the arm lock. Here I do it slightly different. I've just retaught this in a group class, really step by step, where you change your arm positions. You were in number 2 before he hugs your head. you transition to your arms to control position number 3. Checking the hip, under scooping the arm with your left arm. You're checking the hip. You transition to north-south. You under scoop that arm right here to get a deep pinch on it to control that arm. You transition to north-south. You base your foot. You push him on his side. Now there's 2 steps I have to do from here once he's on his side. Step 1 is shin in his rib cage. So I'm going to transition my shin to his rib cage. And then where my knee is by his face, the shin goes to the rib cage. I have a knee on the mat right here. It's going to be replaced with my foot. To allow me more space and flexibility, I'm going to drive my head to his knee to allow that step. Now I replace my knee with my foot. I pinch my knee together. As I pinch my knees together, I grab my opposite shoulder, and then I just sit back nice and slowly, and then I attain the arm lock with the pinching of the knees for the straight arm lock till I get the tap. One hand at my hip, the other hand at my shoulder. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 arm locks. I just want to put a disclaimer. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time. I'm a black belt plus. I sort of make it look easy where I eliminate the space and I keep the pressure. So you gotta put in your reps and be patient with it, but also be safe. Do your movements slow. I don't want you to do the arm locks. I want you to focus on the steps to the arm locks. So I hope you enjoy this video, and as always, I look forward to seeing you on the mat soon.